Welcome back to episode 4. We're working on setting up the head. I've worked on a lot of the what I now call the mandible or the lower abdomen section. I have that kind of framed out. I'm working on clearances to make sure I can get the head to move. It's still in the rough form. The abdomen's in a rough form. I don't really do a whole lot of plating for a while. I'm actually waiting on my LED lighting. Wires are in the mail at this moment, so I'm not trying to progress too far on the skinning before I run all my wires. It'll make sense in the future, even though it's in my past because it's done. Yeah, welcome back. So I'm kind of excited again. So I haven't quite worked out the weights of how to make the head work great. It still goes a certain distance and it'll flop forward. I'm wondering, after a while, I'm sure I'll be able to figure out how to get it to do what I want. And plus I'll be standing behind it, so it'll kind of be easier. But it's so fun. But now I have this part. So basically the plan would be the head would be tucked in. This would be shut. The head itself will have a cowl, but it can still operate in this position, and when it feels, it's kind of feels safe, you can drop his hatch and stick his head further out, or to look at something down or something. But that much more life to the costume. So this is the most complete he's been. So I'm pretty excited. And started working on my t-shirts. Listening to my brother telling me to do that. I have lights and fans and bells and whistles coming in. But I'm really enjoying how this is coming together. His panels look good on him. This thing, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how Mark II is coming along. I got a lot of work done yesterday. I got a lot of the crest done on the head. I think I also figured out what my floppy issue is when I get to a certain point, my diameter of the inner neck spine vertebrae, yes, it doesn't hold it up, so it twists. So if I have it straight held and it goes off a little bit, my handle doesn't move, but I can twist this far either direction without my control in the back moving. But, so that can be fixed by, I'm going to add in, turn your head. I can put inserts in these rings to limit that diameter without having to rebuild that thing. I'm also going to cut off a little more of that vertebrae. But, the head, that's kind of the shape of the crest, so when it pulls back in, it has the impression that this will be solid. This is going to be still vented, but this is going to come down a little bit more. So the idea, it'll look like this whole piece can tuck down, this tucks back in, and this locks up. So I'm going to have some pieces to kind of make this, all look like it's one big armored shell, but then basically, as the audience, you don't see this one open, but it will have the assumption that it opens. This drops down. This can come out, do its thing. But yeah. And then this piece actually just snaps in. And I just got this starting to get put together last night, so it's, but you can see how much that immediately just blocks my person, and there's just some cut open PVC. I gotta reinforce a few of these bits didn't work, and then I had to hog out some areas to get it to set down, rebuild the connections so I can have this slot open just to have another aspect of motion. But as of right now, it'll just lock in. I'm going to tart it up, and then once I get all this stuff figured in, these are going to bend back. And my camera is actually going to sit, just pretend this sandpaper here is my camera. It's going to sit in here, mostly covered by detail. But I have the lens I'm using now is the parabolic, the fish lens. I have a Kyocera work phone. It is amazing, by the way. But so this will go to sit in here, and the lens will, I'm gonna have it offset so my lens is somewhat centered, but it'll be a whole plate that I'll have some solid bit of see through this. I haven't quite figured out my sights yet, but I know I can see out down here. I can see out down here. This will give me a pretty good distance of view, and this is gonna be the fun part. When I'm doing my walks, I can record, so I can make, watch people come up and see their interactions, and it'll be kind of fun, because I wanted that in my last suit. It would also be kind of cool. I'm still kind of debating on making that movable, because I have, get my phone out of here. I have access. I can reach it, I can poke it. I had to make a little thing, and then I just have to reach up and have another, I'm going to have strings all over this thing, because basically this is going to be string drive. But the neat thing, the trick I learned is if I physically keep that mounted top and bottom, and I have it aligned right, that is a piston. I don't know if you can quite see them. These are too big a diameter that I don't want to use, but longer pieces for the effect, because that's kind of my plan for all these, and it keeps a guideline for the string, so it won't get caught on things. Well, there's some gunk in there apparently. I try to find some closer, smaller diameters, thinner, but like that looks like a piston, and these are going to actually be routed. I want them back here. Obviously, once these are all in place, but I like it. I like the look of it. I wanted to do that with my last suit, but the last suit was all cardboard, so anchoring anything to anything was almost impossible. You can already see, like, my arms have a real good range of motion. Last times they just hung down to the sides limp, so they only moved right in step with how the body would move, and then they would swing. Nice. I don't know why I keep not using the good side for these demonstrations. They sent out a whole bunch of the video of stuff working. I was so excited. I went and sat down, took a break, sent out this to like just so many people. And then I sat there, I got done, I realized I shot it from this side, which, I mean, it's got the look, but this side is so much better. But I will be able to reach out and manually control the arms. I'll have, my arms will be having costume working on it. My fingers won't be all that exposed. It'll look like it's a connection. So I'll be able to go through and do somewhat of a range of motion. Thanks for tuning in to episode 4. It was a nice overview of getting the bits and pieces done. The next section, I believe, is detailing up that the mandible bit, Started doing some kit bash work on the head itself. I believe my lights are coming up. I'm not sure what episode that's going to actually get into. I did get a new hard drive for Christmas, an external one, so I'm able to do more shots. I was very limited on all my little SD cards being full, what I could keep on my phone, and I didn't want to waste the time I have in the off season for landscaping not getting further along in the progression of the suit, even though I couldn't get the footage I wanted to get. So hopefully everything will be working out better and getting easier and easier doing this. It's nice. But again, thank you for stopping by. Just like, subscribe, do all the good things that YouTube wants us to do. I do try to get to the comments. There's been a few so far, which has been awesome. It's been live for 2 days, maybe. I'm really feeling good for this. So thank you if you've stuck around this long thus far. See you next episode.